Welcome to the collection of the craziest and wildest AITA Reddit stories of this week. From explosive family drama to shocking twists, these jaw-dropping tales will keep you hooked, questioning who's truly in the wrong. The first story for this collection is from Creepy Specialist 2966. My 19M brother-in-law, 26M, is convinced that I'm in love with him. Let's call my sister Diana and her boyfriend Mike. I'm the youngest of my 3 siblings, Diana, and my brother, who we'll call Carlos. I came out as gay when I was 14, and my immediate family, my parents and siblings, were all supportive. My extended family, uncles, aunts, cousins, and grandparents are less accepting, so I don't tend to be as out and open around them. I graduated high school and started college 2 years ago, when I was 17. I go to the same college that my sister is doing grad school at, and to save costs, I've been staying with her and her then fiancé at their apartment. Mike had always been really nice, and I was happy that my sister was with a nice guy. My siblings and I have always been super close, and that closeness didn't go away when I started living with Diana, so I would often end up hanging out with them and their friends sometimes. The semester just ended for the 2 of us, and we all went home this weekend to stay with my parents. We had a big family dinner, during which Mike kept making little jokes about me liking older guys, my BF is 23, and how he would try to keep me away from him and his buddies. Me and my siblings questioned him about these jokes he was making, until he finally stopped making them. That was last night. This morning, my siblings and my parents went on a hike, which is a family activity that we usually enjoy thanks to us living close to the woods. I slept in and no one wanted to bother me, so they went without me. I figured that everyone had gone. But when I was eating my cereal in the living room and watching TV, Mike came out of the kitchen and sat next to me. I was surprised to see him, as I figured that he would have gone on the hike, but I guess not. He started by apologizing for making fun of me, and then said that it was just a nervous tic of his when he didn't want to talk about something serious. He said that it was wrong of him to joke about my crush on him. I was super confused and asked for clarification, and he said that he knew about the crush I have on him, which I don't. I asked him why he would think that, and he cited a few things that he took as me liking him. 1. That I would always hang out with him and Diana. 2. That I chose to live with them instead of dorms. 3. That he barely knew my boyfriend. And 4. That I didn't bring my boyfriend to their wedding. I tried to tell him that he was insane, and that none of that meant I liked him, and they all had real explanations, but he just insisted that I was just trying to cover up the fact that I was in love with him. That was a few hours ago. I haven't told anyone in my family this yet, and I didn't have lunch with my family since I've had plans to be out with high school friends all day. One friend suggested that I post this here, so I guess that's why I'm doing this. I'll be sure to update if anything serious happens. Thanks for reading, LOL. Small update. Hello everyone. I had no idea that this would take off the way it did. I have a bit of a small update. I spent the night at my friend's house last night. This was planned before any of this. This morning, I woke up and saw all of your comments and speculations. I took some time to reflect on the 2 main possibilities that y'all seem to have come up with. Either A, he's one of those straight guys that thinks that all gay guys are attracted to him. Definitely met a few of those. Or B, he likes me and is projecting it, or trying to make it sound like my idea. After thinking about it a lot, I think that it is more likely to be the second option. I am a person who really loves physical displays of affection, like hugs and cuddles and stuff. My siblings and I are super close, like I said, so I was used to showing my affection this way. Looking back, I realized that Mike was more than willing to show affection this way, as my sister is the same. Mike and Diana had been dating since high school, but I only really got to know him in the last 2 years at college. He was always open to physical affection with me, right off the bat. There have been many comments that he has made that I took as harmless at the time, but now with the context, I realize may have been clues. He would almost always ask me how he looked, like before he went out for the day, and would, in turn, compliment me back. I took things that he said as jokes, like when he told me that my ass looked good in an outfit, or he would tell me that I looked just like my sister, who is gorgeous. I always took this as him being nice, but now I'm not sure if that was his only intention. Anyway, to the actual update. This morning, I called for a sibling meeting at a diner that we like to go to. Sibling meetings are something that we've been doing since we were kids, where we'd talk about things like convincing our parents to get us a pet or splitting the household chores. We met at the diner for brunch, and my brother immediately went on and said how weird it was that Mike was making jokes about me. Diana said that he was still making jokes to her privately after dinner, and that it wasn't the first time he had made those types of jokes. She said that she figured that he was one of those guys who thought that gay guys liked him. But then I told them about his apology yesterday morning, and all the comments and other jokes he's made, and we all think it was pretty weird. I showed them my post and they briefly read through the comments as well. My sister said that she would talk to him about it, and told me that no matter what happened, she would never hold anything against me or blame me for anything, so that was reassuring. We had food, and I went back to my friend's house, and my sister said she would let me know if anything happens. I also texted my boyfriend about all this. He's British, so we have a bit of a time difference. He hasn't responded, but I want to be sure to keep him in the loop as well. I'm currently with my friends, watching them play a video game and pretending to know what's going on LOL. I'll keep you all updated. Here are some comment I would like to replay too. A comment by orphan_Izzy. Buy Mike's theory with every example. He gave you also have a crush on your sister, so I might point that out to him, unless you think he'd actually believe it. Another comment by O_Olive_. Did he stay behind in hopes of talking to you alone? Maybe the real issue is he has developed a crush on you. If he continues making jokes or whatnot, then I might consider saying something to your sister, but if it ends here, I would try to bring your BF around a little more. I don't even understand why he felt the need to bring it up to you. Kind of weird. Update. Hello everyone. I would first like to say thank you all for your support in the comments of my last post and in your guys' private messages to me. After the last mini update, I had logged off of Reddit, and a lot of things have happened, so I honestly kind of forgot that I even had this account still. Coincidentally, I was on TikTok a while ago when I found one of those AI voice accounts that read Reddit stories over someone playing Minecraft parkour. Those types of videos are like weeds. Once you see one of them, your entire timeline gets flooded with them. Earlier today, a video with part of my Reddit post came across my FYP, and the comments were full of people asking if there were any updates. It has been over a year, and I am so sorry for keeping you all in the dark. I saw that my last post was archived and nobody could comment on it, so I figured I should make a new post. For those of you who might be seeing me for the first time ever, I believe you can find my first post on my page. I would recommend reading that before you read this one. I would also like to issue a trigger warning for sexual assault. Now, on to the whole mess that was the past year for me. So, the last time I updated y'all was in May of last year. Me and my siblings were all on summer break from college and were home for the summer. So, the day after I talked to my siblings at the diner, I returned home from my friend's house, and everything seemed normal. My sister informed me that she had talked to her boyfriend, that he had seemed more receptive to her concerns, and he was a lot calmer towards me. He stayed with us until the end of that week, where no further incident occurred between us, before he left to go visit his own family. He's on the complete other side of the country as us. A little after his departure, I noticed that I couldn't find my favorite pair of underwear after doing a load of laundry. At the time, I just chalked it up to it being lost in the wash, or maybe mixed up with someone else's clothes. They were a pair of pink briefs, which I find to be more comfortable for my body type than other forms of underwear, and unfortunately for me, considered more. I'm sure you can all understand what actually happened to them. My sister only stayed with us for 2 weeks, as her job was only allowing her so much time that she could be remote. From what I knew, her boyfriend had returned to our apartment around the same time as her. I stayed for the whole month before I too had to return to the city our college is in, because I had gotten a summer internship in that city. So I was back to staying with my sister and her boyfriend. A few weeks into that, my sister was out for the night because of her friend's bachelorette party, and her boyfriend was out at a bar with his friends, which left me alone in the apartment for the night. I had a movie night and went to bed early. I awoke in the middle of the night to my sister's boyfriend in my bed, touching me. When he noticed I was awake, he held me down and assaulted me. The whole time he was doing it, he was threatening my and my sister's lives, saying that if I told her, or anyone, he would kill both of us. My sister ended up staying the night at her friend's place, and her boyfriend assaulted me 2 more times before she came home. I was pretty broken by that point, and his threats against our lives were ringing in my ears all the time. This cycle continued, where my sister's boyfriend would act withdrawn from me when around others, especially my sister, then assault me whenever he could, threatening both of our lives if I ever spoke up. It's such a difficult thing to describe. The rational part of your brain tells you that it is just a manipulation tactic, that he was lying, and that I needed to speak up. But the irrational part of my brain was so scared. I don't know if that makes sense to you all. Maybe those of you who have been through a similar situation as me might understand it. I also began to change, my usually happy and bubbly personality changing to a more withdrawn, moody, almost depressed one. I took to wearing fewer revealing clothes, especially at home. Think from tank tops and booty shorts to t-shirts and pants. A reminder that this was happening in summer, so my previous wardrobe was better for the weather. About 3 months later, in September, when I was back to school and done with the summer internship, my sister was doing laundry one day and decided to surprise me by doing mine too, because she is a sweetheart like that. She also decided to wash my sheets for me, and that's when she saw that there were bloodstains on my sheets. This immediately raised concerns with her. So that day, when I came home from campus, I found my sister on the couch with the sheet next to her. She tentatively asked me if I had been self-harming, as she herself had been through that struggle. She has scars on her thighs from doing it. She told me that my recent change of mood, and the fact that I had changed my wardrobe to be more covered up, especially my legs, had her worried. I told her I was not, but could offer no explanation as to why the sheets were bloody. It was then that I broke down and had a huge panic attack. My sister tried to calm me down at first, but when that didn't help, and I was still struggling, she decided to take me to the ER. The attack lasted for about 45 minutes, only going away when they gave me some sort of medication to help me calm down. Apologies. My memories from this particular part are a little spotty. Once I calmed down, I was allowed to stay in the hospital room for a little bit, and when it was eventually me and my sister, where I confessed it all to her. She was extremely comforting and asked me when the last time he had assaulted me was. It was the night before, so she pressed the little doctor/nurse call thing and told them that I was going to need a kit. For those of you who want the specifics of that process, please Google it. After that, I just wanted to go home. My sister took me and left me in her car at first, then came out and ensured that her boyfriend was not there yet. She texted him and told him to not come home, as the two of us were really sick, and we did not want to infect him. The next day, instead of going to our classes, she took me to our local police station to file a police report. This whole process was also long and laborious, and honestly, my memory surrounding it all is kind of hazy, something my therapist says can happen with traumatic experiences. But with the evidence found from the kit and my testimony, he got a sentence of 4 years and a fine, and he has to register on the offender registry. I am doing much better now. My schooling was only a little bit affected, but nothing too bad, and I'm on summer break again. My sister and I are both close still. We are both in therapy, and I am getting through things day by day. I am currently writing this from home, and I'm flying out to London next week to see my boyfriend. I will try to not forget this page again, ha ha ha. Additional information from OP on how Mike was confronted. OP, yeah, so he was at a friend's place while we were at our apartment. My sister was still maintaining that we were sick. We told the police which friend he was likely to be staying with, and he was taken from there. Since I got the rape kit, they were able to get DNA from that, plus we submitted the sheets as evidence, and there was some DNA on there too. The police to his DNA to compare to the DNA found, and that was what nailed him as guilty. He maintained his innocence until his sentence was delivered. He threatened me when they were taking him out. OP shares details from Mike's family after they found out what happened and their reactions. OP, his family was a bit of a problem at first. His parents sort of had the "my son would never" attitude. They attended all of the court sessions, and as more and more of our evidence, DNA from the rape kit and the sheets, pictures of the bruises he left on me and of the sheets themselves, was shown, and at my testimony they admonished him. They sent my sister a message apologizing for his actions and sending me their sympathies. He has a sister from what I know, but I haven't seen her. She might be estranged or have little contact based on what my sister has told me. Comments. A comment by Here for Mysteries. I'm so heartbroken that this happened to you. I am so proud of you for coming forward. That is outrageously difficult and not something everyone is able to do. I'm so very thankful your sister listened, believed you, and supported you. There are no words to adequately describe the strength and love you and your sister have shown. All my love. OP. Thank you. I really wouldn't be anywhere without my sister. I had no idea of what to do or how to report it or anything. Thank you for your words of encouragement. Another comment by initial_obligation. 55. No, the update I expected nor wanted, but I'm glad you got some form of justice. I really am praying for your recovery, honey. You didn't deserve that, and neither did your sister. I can only imagine how you feel, and I truly hope that you heal from all the hurt, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Sending you and your sister so much love, PA. OP. Thank you so much. I'm doing better every day. Update. I was accused of seducing my brother's girlfriend, but I'm actually gay and I have feelings for my brother's best friend. It's been almost a week, and I'm happy to tell you that I am officially living with Robert, since, as always, he is there for me to support me. Regarding the meeting with my parents and brother, well, it didn't go well at all. The day I said in the last update, if I went to talk to them, I even brought evidence to show them, Robert accompanied me and was going to be the intermediary so that something serious wouldn't happen. I think when they only saw Robert through the vantage point of the door, my brother quickly opened it happily, but he only saw me and his smile disappeared. My brother demanded from Robert why he was with me. He just said that we have to talk about something with everyone. I reluctantly agreed. Robert grabbed my hand to give me support, and we entered the house. But Destiny is a bitch that wanted to hit me hard, since my brother's girlfriend was there. She only saw me and Robert out of the corner of her eye, but her gaze fell when he and I were holding each other's hands. But I hadn't taken it into account. At this point, I just wanted to clean up my image as my family. We all sat down, and I started talking about the situation. Even though I was shaking, I had to be strong, and I told them the evidence in front of them. I even showed them the video where I made a screen recording proving that she was the one who wanted something with me. What happened next was really stupid and illogical. Even with the evidence and telling the face that it was her that was flirting, they said that it's still my fault. Even she still said, and I quote, "With your look passing in front of me, even smiling at me, that's enough that you told me that you wanted something with me." Right now, I'm laughing at how stupid it sounds. But at that moment, I was surprised, shocked, even aberration. It doesn't matter that you like someone to tell you that, just to be nice, I say that to you. We began to argue strongly, because I cannot believe that with all the evidence, they continue to say that it is my fault. Robert even told them that this is illogical, in addition to the fact that it was stupid for them to believe a girl who barely arrived than me, who is her family. My brother told him not to get involved and that he was a traitor for being on my side. My mother pulled out the typical, "It's your fault for separating my brother's family and friends" letter. I couldn't take it anymore, so I just went to my room to pick up my things. Clothing and valuables. Now with my things, I told my parents that if they wanted me to leave, then I'm leaving, and I told my brother that when I cheat on him, he should tell me so I can laugh in his face. Honestly, no, I know where I got that courage. Robert made the last attempt, but nothing could be done. My brother made it clear to him that they were no longer friends, and that now we both no longer exist. After so, I settled in Robert's house. Thanks to his beautiful support, I will seriously be grateful to him. So even though it hurt me, I blocked my family and my brother's girlfriend, so now I am going to live calmly and better to focus on what I want to do in my life. If anything else happens, I will update you. Update 2. I didn't expect to bring an update so quickly, which I don't know whether to laugh or cry. It's been a few days since my family and my brother's girlfriend's argument, and like I said, I had blocked it everywhere so that they wouldn't bother me anymore. I seriously don't know why people think it's good to create fake profiles. They're good ideas to be screwing around. But anyway, well, guess who contacted me last night? That's right, my brother's girlfriend, Amanda. From Instagram as always, since I had her blocked, she created a fake account just to write to me and tell me meaningless things, like, "It doesn't matter how much you wanted to try," or "Another person would have taken advantage," and my favorite, "You are not a man." Honestly, it's like a girl was insulting me instead of an adult woman. The other one who realized, finally brain works, that I don't like women, since he saw how I was holding Robert's hand, and that real men never hold hands. I don't know why he uses that as a man. I know I'm a man. I have something that defines me, LMAO. Then I go through the typical speech that I didn't know what I really liked, and only with her would I become a macho. If I was bothered, why are there really people who have to use their or your taste in doubt? Then I laughed, because, let's be honest, that sounds good to someone who has a closed mind, or is a bitch who needs somewhere to jump. After that, I blocked her that 1-2 account. I don't care if he tells my parents or someone else. When his opinion or his arguments are Henry Cavill, dressed as a prince, riding a white horse, holding a bouquet of roses and giving me lass with a diamond ring, then I will accept it. Update 3. It's been 2 weeks since I updated here and 1 week with 1 day in Thailand. Yes, I'm in Thailand with Robert and my grandparents, since I'm taking a few weeks off from my family's stress. Everything here is great. Personally, I would recommend coming on vacation. The beaches are very beautiful. The temples are also interesting to try the food and go by boat to buy things. But I'm not here to explain the good thing about being in this part of the world. But unfortunately, I received the notification, thanks to some relatives, that my brother is getting married. Yes, as you read, my stupid older brother is going to marry his crazy girlfriend, which is hard for me to believe after what happened. I thought that after the evidence, it was going to take a few days for them to see that it wasn't the bad guy in the story and that Amanda was the one who was bad, but apparently they don't care about that. They don't care that she was the one who lied about the messages, that she was the one who divided my family. Read, this made my heart hurt. I'm not going to deny it. I thought I was going to be with my brother on that important day in his life, and now I'm not going to be. I feel like they never care. And I'm in the way, in the end, it still affects me. I can only continue as I was, and possibly pretend that I don't have a family that still hurts me, that the only family I have are my maternal grandparents and Robert. With Robert, someone asked me privately at the end what kind of relationship we have, and well, just remain friends, since I'm still unsure whether to tell him what I feel, but he has done things these days that make me very happy. Yes, our friendship relationship happened something else or not. At least with him, I am happy to continue by his side and that he is there for me too. So, I hope this is the last update, and if not, I will let you know if there is something more happens. Update 4. It's been a month since I last updated here, and I've been doing well. Robert and I are still living together so far. I don't know how the relationship will develop, because interesting things happened in Thailand, which, by the way, I highly recommend you go to reflect and leave behind all the negative stuff. But anyway, I'm not going to stray from the topic, and like some of you, I also found out that my older brother got into Reddit because Amanda ended up cheating on him. Karma miracle, I love it. But what I didn't like is that my parents and my brother tried to communicate with me after that. I mean, for them, it was easy to vote me out as nothing, and now they expect me to forgive them. But before that, he arrived at Robert's house very upset. I don't know if he was drunk or not, but he almost broke the door because he was hitting it very hard. When I left, my brother hugged me tightly, telling me that he was sorry and that I should please forgive him for being a bad brother. I told him no and that there was nothing left to fix. I told him that I prefer a woman that I had known for a short time and that because of him, I was hit hard. He only pleaded, saying things that he was blinded by love and that now he can see. Well, I told him to put his apologies and his regret where they fit. He said that he felt I was taking it away from him when I yelled at him because of the annoyance I felt. How can I like her if I don't like women? Yes, I yelled at him that I don't like women, and that's when his brain finally worked and put all the pieces together, realizing that he had never brought girlfriends home. He was going to continue talking when I went back into the house and closed the door, threatening to call the police and file a restraining order shortly after he left with his head down. At the moment, they haven't used different numbers to contact me, and I hope they do. Also, if you see my brother on other forums, seriously, I don't want you to help him get back with me. As I said, I don't have a family anymore, because the first time they kick me out and I don't plan on coming back for a second one. I don't plan to accept anything. I won't accept any letters or talk to him or our parents. My decision is to completely distance myself and cut everything off. I hope you, brother, see this. They are no longer part of my life. I will never forgive them because they don't deserve it. Am I the asshole? OP is not an AH here as he doesn't have anything romantic to do with Mike. Mike's assumptions are baseless, and he is being unreasonable by trying to be the crush of his brother-in-law. His intrusive behavior is not justified in any way. Because of his behavior, he is an AH, and I would rate him 2.5 out of 5 on the AH scale. Since all accusations of Mike on OP are baseless, I would rate him 0 out of 5 on the AH scale. Let's now jump on to the next story from own-replacement-952. AITA for leaving my wife without a discussion after I found out she cheated? I know that I am not an AH for leaving a relationship where my partner was unfaithful. That is normal, and I would hope everyone respects themselves enough to get out of that situation. This is a touch more complicated. I fly in, fly out for work. I am currently working a contract in Africa. I work for 8 weeks, then I get 4 offs. So basically, I'm gone for 2 months and home for 1. I have been doing this kind of work for about 10 years now. I had a house, but I was never there. And it didn't make sense to rent it out, since I would not have a place to stay when I needed it. So I sold it. I stayed with my parents and simplified my life to the point where, other than my car and 1 set of formal clothes for weddings, funerals, I could carry everything I own in 1 piece of checked luggage and my carry-on. I met Louise 3 years ago. We hit it off and started dating. She seemed okay with my lifestyle, and it was nice having someone to come home to. We got married last summer. I found out this September she was cheating on me. When I got home this time, I didn't bother leaving the airport. I checked into the hotel for the night and left the next day for Vietnam. I rented a nice place there for my time off and blocked her on everything. I also contacted a lawyer to start a divorce. A few people got a hold of me to see what was going on since she didn't know where I was. I told them that we were getting divorced because she was cheating on me. It happens. I'm sad, but not ashamed. I didn't screw up. We never mixed our finances. The only thing that sort of matters is that our apartment was in her name. We wanted to make sure she could take care of everything while I was gone. All our bills were also in her name. Not my credit cards or anything. Just water, power, internet, stuff like that. I would just give her money to pay all the bills. It was good, because then she had her salary to pay for herself on everything else she wanted while I was gone. The thing is, she can't afford that apartment on her salary. I'm back in Africa and won't be home again until just after Christmas. I'm already planning on taking my parents to Europe over New Year's, so I won't be bothering to fly back to California next time. I will just have my company fly me to Italy instead. My ex doesn't have a lot of savings. She makes good money, but she likes nice things. I liked her having nice things, so I didn't mind subsidizing her life. Now she is stuck in a lease and has a car note that will eat up all her paycheck. Some of our friends think that leaving her in that situation without talking to her isn't fair. That she only got the apartment because she was counting on my money for the budget. They all acknowledge that she is in the wrong for cheating, but they think I am screwing her over too much by just leaving her like I did. Cold turkey, so to speak. Do you guys think I owe her anything more? AITA? OP is not an AH, rather his wife is an AH here for cheating on her husband. OP's decision to go no contact with her and sending her divorce papers is completely justifiable, because cheating is the ultimate deal breaker in a relationship. So OP is not an AH, and I would rate him 0 out of 5 on the AH scale. On the other hand, OP's wife is an AH for cheating on her husband, so I would rate her 3.5 out of 5 on the AH scale. Let's now move on to the last story, maximum_pop_2576. AITA for getting angry with husband who keeps injuring himself, broke both wrists and injured his back within 8 months. I am really struggling here and am feeling terrible about myself. I am a compassionate person, but tonight I just lost it. We have 3 very young kids, 6 and under, and have very little to no help at all. Some background. Husband found a new hobby and decided to take on hockey or power skating. In February, he broke his right wrist while skating with kids. He was trying to show off some special moves and fell. A few months later, he injured his back badly somehow while putting a cargo box on top of our sum. Tonight, he called me saying he broke his left wrist at a skating class, second class of the season. After his right wrist injury in Feb, I advised him he should probably wear wrist guards to avoid re-injuring his right wrist and potentially breaking his left wrist. He agreed, but apparently, he has not been wearing his wrist guards at all in these lessons. And lo and behold, he broke his left wrist tonight. I felt really upset and basically gave him a lecture over the phone, asking why he didn't wear his wrist guards and how he could let this happen. The injuries he has had over the last few months have really taken a toll on us as a family, and on me. It's already a lot of work taking care of 3 kids by ourselves, but with him being constantly injured, it has been really a lot for me. It seems to me that one injury is an accident, but multiple times over a few months is a pattern that he's not understanding what his abilities are and are not taking the precautions that he said he was going to. On top of this, I still feel hurt over an incident that happened a few weeks after he injured his right wrist. We were chatting with a couple, and the wife noted that she didn't realize how much her husband actually did until he got injured. I didn't say anything at that time to respond. Afterwards, my husband told me he felt sad that I didn't respond and said the same thing of him, that I didn't publicly acknowledge how much he did before he got injured. I was just fuming after hearing what he said. First, just because I didn't respond doesn't mean I don't agree. And second of all, why would he expect that I publicly acknowledge him when during those hard few weeks I was completely exhausted and tired? And 3, did he at any point acknowledge me in private or with our friends all that I did while he was injured? I don't know. I feel so exhausted, so drained. I thought I am a compassionate and understanding person, but maybe I am not really. Is it okay to feel angry at him for feeling invalidated? Am I really the A here? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too exhausted from parenting. I feel like I shouldn't need to mother him and remind him to put on wrist guards and lecture him about ways to keep himself safe and avoid injury. Am I overstepping my role as a wife? There's so many other instances of lack of judgment and foresight that has led to almost accidents with our kids, and that have led to his injuries in a short period of time. It's just making feel like he's not dependable, and it's not a healthy feeling. Thanks for listening, a much frazzled mother of 3 young children. OP is not an AH for being kind and overprotective of her husband. After her husband sustained multiple injuries in a short period of time, her anger and concern about her husband's negligence are justified. As a mother of 3 young children, OP is simply trying to ensure the safety of their father and her husband. She is exhausted and worried about her husband's well-being. Her husband is being a little AH, and I would rate him 1 out of 5 on the AH scale, and OP gets nothing. What do the Mac Reddit fans think? Is the OP an AH or not? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like the stories I brought you, just hit the like button, share them as much as you can, and don't forget to subscribe to Mac Reddit for a daily dose. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow with some more spicy fries.